Yeah, buddies. It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington.
And I'm Gail Bennington.
Big football game tonight, right?
Chargers Chiefs.
Yeah, this could be the AFC champion fucking foreshadowing. I'm going to watch that. But first, well, we've got the big Sirius XM Christmas social we're all getting together for.
The holiday gathering, I believe, is the official.
I'm going to definitely dance to Making It. Making it. This is my chance and I'm taking it. By the way, there's a couple little fillies in the HR department I plan on pawing.
No, you can't do that.
Why?
Especially not HR.
I'm going to do that thing where I got, what's it called? The holly? Just right on my belt buckle. Earl, are you going tonight or are you too nervous?
Yeah, I'm awkwardly going.
Yeah, your two worlds are going to collide.
Butt heads, more like it.
Did you find out what the menu is?
No, I have not. That is still under wraps. But
let everybody know that my man Chris Stanley can eat an entire ham in one sitting.
You could bring his own.
Christmas time is here. Fucked up times and shitty times. Well, that Christmas spirit's all over all of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought the flurry this morning made me feel very Christmassy.
Yeah, I feel very Christmassy too.
I'm simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Simply having Paul McCartney Christmas time. My dick is up. My asshole's tight. Fucking, I can't use the word I want to use. Got fucking Vito in trouble yesterday. You're being fucking watched, Vito. Bez is all over your shit. Bez is going back. And then when Vito did his apology yesterday about using, I think you said Queer Town or whatever on your, you were busting balls with your buddies. Is that it? And using homophobic slurs?
Yeah, I was making fun of my friend and used some homophobic slurs I should not have used.
And then you said yesterday during your apology that, you know, these were high school things. And then Fez found someone that were quite more recent.
I think Fez forgets how old I am, because I'm
Christmas time
25.
is here. Yeah, he said he found one from this year.
No, there's
June 13th.
There's none from June this year.
To be fair to Vito, his friends are really gay.
Yeah, they are. I saw him making out with Ian one day.
Wait, one of them has a sugar daddy.
That is right, Ian.
Yeah.
Hey, you're only friends with Ian and nobody else.
Yeah, Ian is my best friend. That's my go-to. You got Ian, you got
Damn
Shaka.
it, I thought I was your best friend.
No, you're up there. You're my
What about me?
It goes best friend rankings. Go. Ian, Ron, Gail,
Nice.
Earl, some other people who work here.
That's bullshit.
My friend Shaka, maybe Chris at some point.
At some point. Thought we were closer than that.
Justin, wait.
That's fat shaming. That's
How
not fucking
close in
fair.
weight do you guys think you are?
Vito's much fatter than I am. He's got at least 40 pounds on me.
No, I don't have 40 pounds. I'd be dead.
Everybody's buzzing about our big celebrity buzz yesterday.
That was awesome.
Way up at the top. I think top 5 for the entire company, including the people that were giving out trips, fucking airline tickets, hotels, and backstage with stars. I mean, no one's going to get as big as you get the DJ the Beatles channel. That's all any celebrity who comes in here wants to do.
They love it.
I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
Now, here's the weird thing, too. When I'm listening, I mean, it's my favorite breaks on the Beatles channel. And it's all the same story. And I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. You saw them on Ed Sullivan. They played this song. Then you went to prom. They played that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were of age at that time, the Beatles were everything. But I find it so compelling every fucking time.
Well, it's great.
Every single time.
It's great just to hear those stories.
Well, yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that. Thank you. Number one in talk we were. Number one in
It's
talk.
fucking great.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so awesome.
Knowing that Mr. Dan Abrams of Mediaite is now here.
How's our ass taste?
Jesus.
Right? Come on. That's
Chris.
too much.
Save that for the party tonight.
Oh, God.
Huh, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
We're number one in talk when it comes to getting celebrity money.
We're feeding this whole goddamn country.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Now I'm feeding you my ass.
Right. By the way, if you want to hear embarrassing Chris drunk talk, be listening to the year-end special. Here's what we do every year. It runs on the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, but we put out a piece of it every single day, so you're getting new programming every single day here. And what I wanted to happen and did is that it starts where Chris is, the first day of this, doing a couple of shots and saluting us all and getting to, oh man, he's a little buzzed. Hey, he's getting handsy with people. And so finally, like, somebody should call someone to come down here. There's two things. A, it sounds like you're going to be overly aggressive and hurt someone.
That's not good.
And then B, people will be worried about alcohol poisoning.
I don't think I can be alcohol poisoned.
You just were 2 Christmases ago.
Wasn't that long ago?
I think, no,
that
that
you
was...
poisoned your blood.
It's 0.37 when it's alcohol poisoning. I believe I was at 0.34, so I just dodged it.
Cunny hair, Earl. Cunny hair. I guess you young guys don't know what that is.
Such a 90s kid.
I got this from Jim McClure. He said, my mother was a huge Harry Chapin fan. So I guess in some weird way, I have a good feeling that this is the charity we work with. Thank you for being a part of it. I didn't know that this was Harry's. I know that he did hunger stuff, but I didn't know this was the exact one.
He co-founded the organization Why Hunger with Bill Ayers.
You know what I have to say to that, my friend? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Harry Chapin. You know the weirdest thing I ever heard about Harry Chapin, and I didn't know this until I worked in radio. You know how he's always like a laid back guy.
Yeah.
Folky.
What's that?
Folky.
Folky, but East Coast folky, like James Taylor. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And but I heard from people in the business that he would get up every day and work the phones, calling radio stations, fucking small, medium, large.
Really?
Hey, is that record playing? You guys need it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was very ambitious when it came to how his charts were doing. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
It seemed like that's that
It would
guy.
seem the exact opposite.
I mean, did he listen to his own song?
No.
Chill out on the work. You know? Take a moment.
Can I tell you something? And this is true. He couldn't pick his own kids out of a lineup. You know what? It is nice to work with a charity that feeds people when we have a show that's eating too much.
We're taking the food out of Chris Stanley's mouth with this charity.
Starving.
First of all, that food falls out and goes back in all the time. I'm here for it. You know, I was thinking about this too because, you know, I was looking at Juliet's stuff of how much more advanced safety-wise everything is now as compared to when Gail was a baby, you know? I'm like, oh, I guess our car seat was a little more dangerous than I thought.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like less difference in safety things for like car seats, but just toys. Like that you're not just, you know, giving them metal toys with sharp edges. Like,
dude, I grew up with the time it was just turning from everything was metal to everything was plastic. So
Yeah.
all the kids would have like a metal pail. Like down at the beach, you would have a metal pail and a metal shovel. And
God.
you're and I don't even know if kids have these anymore. But it's like the little cart that you pull. It's got a fucking stupid name.
Like a radio flyer?
Yeah, but that thing is called a wagon, I guess. A little wagon. Yes, they were radio flyers. You were correct about that, Chris. But those things would rust out, and you would just have
cut yourself if you sat in it.
Yeah, and there would be like little things that were almost like rusty razor blades.
Yeah.
All over it.
I remember, I can't believe that they sold this, but the realistic looking toy guns, I remember I had a shitload of them.
Kids have gotten shot by cops.
I had a fucking Uzi, basically. I could walk, and it wasn't like a red top. Like they started making it safe, like putting a red cap on it or whatever, which is bullshit. But they looked like fucking real guns. I had like a fucking silver revolver that looked like a revolver.
Yeah,
that I could have robbed this store with. It's terrifying. You can't give that to children.
I had one that was a German Luger, and it weighed like 5 pounds, and it really was. It might even be somewhere at my parents' house, but it literally looked exactly like a metal German Luger. It wasn't even plastic, and it was like filled all the way through. There was no like clicking to do or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you could still just hit someone with it. Like you wouldn't even think to give kids a toy that you could use as a weapon like that.
Dude, that's why I brought up the pails. I beat up a friend of mine with fucking pails. He was bigger than me, and I was just smacking him. Here's what happened. And it was Stuffy, my friend Stuffy, who did this. We're making fucking mud pies, right? On the fucking dirt mound of the new fucking houses. We're having a hell of a time. I mean, we're just stacks of dirt pies. And then he fucking looks at me and goes, "You're going to eat this dirt pie." And I go, "That ain't fucking happening. I am not putting it in my." It was a wet fucking mud pie. And then he put it up and started to put it in my mouth. I just started swinging a fucking metal bucket at him.
Deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, he deserved it.
Also in the 80s, I remember I had Transformers, and they were plastic and metal.
Yeah.
So they were like, it's like there were trucks and cars and planes and shit. So they had like hard metal edges. And I hit a kid in the head with an Optimus Prime, and I fucking busted him open once. When I was a little kid.
Oh my God.
It's fucking horrible.
Dude, there were so many dangerous toys when I was a kid. I think the most dangerous one I got, and I very specifically remember it was a Christmas present because I had asked for them. They were very popular in the early 90s, and they were called moon boots, and they were essentially a trampoline for each foot. Okay? So you're now bouncing on these mini trampolines, and you're an idiot kid, so you're gonna run downstairs in them, you're gonna like do everything you're not supposed to. But the weight of the moon boot itself, a lot of times you would go to like jump, but you didn't get enough air, so you'd trip over your own moon boots and smash them into your shins, and then just hit pavement as hard as you could on the face. It was like the most dangerous idea. Who would be like trampoline shoes for kids? That's obviously a bad idea.
You know what's really funny? Dan Aykroyd used to do this character that would get in trouble on Saturday Night Live, and one of his things that he was selling to kids was a bag of glass.
Glass.
A kid can get it, can play with it. 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. A most dangerous toy that you ever had. I remember my uncle bought this for me, and it was my Uncle Eddie. And he was, I'm going to be honest, he was kind of a guy who lived on the edge anyway. He had a very Mickey Rourke look about him. Also enjoyed the H back when not a lot of people were doing that. Yeah. So he comes in and I'm like 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that fucking age. So what he gives me is this wood burning kit, right? And it's this thing and he was showing me like, look, you just plug it up like this. And then if you got your toys, you just put your initial on it. Put it on your bed. Somebody steals anything of yours, you're going to have burned into this. And I'm like, this is fucking fantastic. I'm just loving the idea of this. And I'm just thinking, I go, I can do my bat. I can do, you know what I mean? I'm just like, and then the second he left his car, like I heard his car door slam. My mother takes it, fucking wraps it up, and it's going up into a closet that I can't reach. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's mine. And she goes, you are never going to have this. And I'm like, why? She goes, because you're a lunatic. You're a scary person as it is. And you're going to burn yourself. You're going to burn my furniture. You're going to burn the house down. And I was like, just give me a chance to be responsible with this. Because I had, like, the amount of things I was going to burn my initials into was, and I was thrilled with this present. To this day, I haven't played with it.
She should at least give it to you now.
You know, in hindsight, I get where she's coming from. You know what I mean? I get it now. Here's Matt in Kentucky. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, well, while I was growing up, they sold this little. It was like a little glue packet with these little straws, and it smelled like whippets. And all we do is just sit there getting high off this shit. You're supposed to blow bubbles with it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Now, did you know you were getting high?
Well, I mean, little kid. I mean,
I know, but I used to
knew it was fun.
I used to do the same thing with the glue, and I just thought that it smelled good with like you're making like a little airplane.
Yeah.
Right.
Models.
We did it with whiteout.
Yeah. I never finished a model in my life. I just sat there. I was smelling the glue. I'm like, this glue smells so good. Fucking hour later, loving the smell of this glue. You know?
Gotta get more glue.
Yeah.
I remember this bubble toy. They sold it in the bodegas in New York City, and I fucking loved it. I love this weird chemical that they were just selling to children for $2.
Dude, this just reminded me of one because this is a combination of like it was dangerous on multiple levels. Do you guys remember creepy crawlers?
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember like I was obsessed with it because like the commercial was great. It was like creepy crawlers, and I was like, I really wanted it. It was a boy toy, but I wanted it. And here's the thing: it's weird chemical gunk. You stick in a mini oven,
a hot plate,
that can burn the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Burn the fuck out of you, and you take it out, and then you can smell just burning plastic and chemical.
Right.
So it's just like on multiple levels. Obviously not a toy for children.
I remember they even like made a variation of it, like you could eat it, like it would be like a jelly thing or whatever, but you're pulling this hot jelly off a plate. When you're a little kid. Mike in Iowa.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those wood burning kits, but the other thing I had was a chemistry set. And as a kid, there was all sorts of chemicals and stuff. You didn't know what the hell you were doing.
I had some of that before, and the only thing I ever made was a rainbow in a puddle. That I would mix it together, put it in a puddle, and you can see a rainbow in there. But yeah, again, you would open those things up and just smell them.
Yeah.
You're like, does this stink? Yeah, that stinks. All right, let's try to mix them together. Hey, Chris in Philly, Dangerous Toys.
Hey guys, this is in the late 70s. There was this horse that looks like you would see on like a carousel that was suspended about 2 feet off the ground by 4 industrial metal springs attached to like aluminum like rods. So you would go on it and it would bounce up and down, but there was no safety, no harness holding you in place. The springs were exposed that could gut you like a fish if you hit it the wrong way. And there was at least 3 or 4 times you would fall off that thing and lariat yourself on the springs or on the metal poles if you fell off.
Yeah, that was always the thing. I remember there was even a commercial. I didn't have this, but they were like big foam Legos, right? That you could put things together. You could make a fucking... So with this foam, you could make a fort in your backyard, cool. Right? They showed in the commercial that used to run during Scooby-Doo that this kid had made a boat and he was floating it out. And like the last thing you want to do is have the little kids next to a lake or a river
with shoddy foam boats.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I don't even know what the name of that was. Todd in Cleveland, what do you got?
Hey there, Ronnie.
Yeah.
We had a game that we used to play by my cottage. We had lawn darts where we actually just threw these missiles into these rings right in front of our feet. So you're throwing these missiles at each other's heads.
I'm sure we brought this up on the show before. the lawn dart, which is a very sharp metal object.
It's medieval.
That's
basically.
like a dart, but it's really big. And obviously, it's off the market because some kids had, terrible accidents. But in my neighborhood with my friends, we didn't play stupid lawn darts. What we did is everyone got together in the pack. The lawn dart went up in the air while we ran with our hands over our heads.
Fuck, man.
Could you imagine now you look out, your kid is basically throwing a knife up in the air and then running.
Run.
Cool game.
Yeah. Mark in San Diego. Mark, we got you, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Ronnie?
Hey.
Hey, I had 5 brothers, so any toy was an assault weapon. What I'm calling for is I had a great time drinking with Chris when he gave him that dank-ass bourbon. I got all fucked up. What was he sipping on the other day so I can drink along on the vacation shows?
He did a bottle of Jameson.
Yeah, straight Jameson.
You got any snortables along to go with that?
I wasn't cutting rails during the special.
Just make it an extra snowy Christmas.
Well,
yeah, it'll be a white Christmas out here in San Diego, but we'll be listening.
Enjoy yourself in Sand Dog. We're talking dangerous toys. Here's John in Arizona.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Cool, man.
Hey, I wanted to say that sock and boppers existed in my household for a total of maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. I have an older sister. I'm 30. My sister is 31. Growing up, we were both pretty, competitive and everything. So I saw a door open. I walked through it. I think I hit my sister with the haymaker that it was probably unnecessary, and those went away really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that is that, a little boy can punch a lot harder than a little girl. And, when you're like, one kid's 7, the other's 4, you got a good 25 pounds on them. You can really light a kid up.
And here's a toy that they actually said, go ahead and fight each other with these. Like, it's not even like, oh, we misused them. They said fight each other with these, and they weren't, it wasn't that soft. You know what I mean? Well,
you weren't going to get as hurt from being punched. What you're going to get hurt is going down head first into the driveway.
Right.
Or in the garage if it was a rainy day.
Right.
Here's one. I remember I had been given boxing gloves, right? And they were like big enough that, my parents felt like, yeah, you and the kids box each other. So they weren't really good. We weren't going to hurt each other with this boxing glove. The downside was we were also too lazy to really tie them up. So you had the fucking laces hanging off. So while we're punching each other, the laces are just swinging back and forth, and you're just kind of whipping each other's faces with this.
Oh, he was too lazy. It does take a while to fucking tie those things up.
I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? I think we probably try to lace up the first day, and then after that, let's go. Let's do this.
It's not a sanctioned fight here.
Yeah. Hey, let's go to Tyler in San Francisco. Tyler.
Hey, Ronnie, when I was growing up, it was like mid 80s, late 80s. We had Intertech water guns, which were battery operated water guns, but the things look absolutely real. I mean, nowadays,
I had one of those.
Kids get straight shot.
Really an awful idea.
Well, particularly not so much for us, but young Earl could have been shot to pieces for this. Hey, your chance to get tickets for Brian Regan Unmasked Tuesday, December 18th at 4 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance of free tickets. Also, these are the last days that you can make sure when you get your shirt, your Bennington family t-shirt, it's going to get there before Christmas. ibangshop.com, ibangshop.com. Let's go over here to Tom. Tom, yeah. Hold on with this now. This fucking thing is acting nutty. We're talking dangerous toys, Tom. What do you got?
Hey, Bennington's the Teddy Chainsaw Bear by the Mainway Toy Company. It was fantastic.
Teddy Chainsaw Bear.
Yeah, it's right up there with Johnny Switchblade Adventure Punk.
Oh, you're doing a Dan Aykroyd gimmick.
Oh yeah, fantastic,
Thanks, buddy. Let's go to Will. Will in Illinois.
Hey, afternoon there, Ron.
Hey, man.
So your mother took away your wood burning kit. My mother took away a mimeograph machine. And I don't know why she thought that was going to be dangerous. You know, hand crank. What am I going to do? Print out subversive literature?
She doesn't need any little commies in the family.
You could have started a zine.
I didn't even know there was a thing like this.
No.
I'd like to have one now.
Yeah, it seems kind of cool.
You could start a zine. Just a punk scene, letting people know what's going on, the local club scene. No bullshit. You're not going to see any ads in here.
No mainstream garbage. This thing's hyper local.
I think she was afraid of fake news. She's like, I don't want you spreading anything untrue.
Game of real problem. Let's go over here to Max in Tennessee. Max.
So I have two now that I've been thinking about it. One was when we were kids, they got us started on this thing called scented markers. And I think it just, it's dangerous because it makes you think every marker is scented. And the other one was Pogo Ball, was like a late 80s toy. And
Dude,
you could
my
sprain
neighbor
an
had one
ankle.
Yeah. What they would do is show you a talented kid in the commercial doing
Right. You could never do what they were doing.
No.
I busted my ass, but my neighbor had one. And like the commercial looked really easy. She was struggling. She's like, I can't make it work. And I was like, I can do it. And it was like, it's impossible. Who could do that shit? Pogo balls are impossible.
If you could do it, you'd end up with your first TV spot. I told you that when I did that gig, a guy I haven't seen in decades, Turtle. But he was telling me, and he lived down in Linwood, and he said, Bam Margera at 4 years old riding a fucking skateboard was the most amazing thing that he had ever seen.
Oh, holy shit.
At 4?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to be an athlete like that, you're kind of born with most of it. And at 4, he said he was just phenomenal.
That's crazy.
Now, I know you guys had all seen Bam's show, right?
Yes.
And what his house looks like, that castle with the... he's having an open party there, and he's asking people to bring stuff to tear the house down so they can, or bust up all the skateboarding stuff, and then he's going to build it out and turn it into an Airbnb. So first they skate, then you bust up the house.
Nice.
Then renovated.
I don't know what his lawyer insurance man says to him.
Sure, go for it, Bam. Good idea.
Let's go to our buddy Chuck, North Carolina. Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Ronnie. I don't know if this was a regional toy we had down south or not, but I think it was called clackers. It was like these big old fucking balls on each end of a string, and you grabbed it in the middle and banged them off each other. And goddamn, them things would knock the shit out of your hand or hit you in the head.
What happened with us
killer.
is our school banned them, so the teachers would take them off you because the kids were hitting each other. But also, they're made out of some kind of plastic or whatever, and that thing they start to shatter after you've had them for a while.
It's like a big old marble, like a great big hard marble or something. Did I hear Chris say he was doing rails?
Yeah, he said he was doing rails.
I wasn't doing rails.
Yeah, he's loving
doing
it.
Jameson and doing rails. He needs to come down to the mountains on New Year's Eve. He's back into that deal.
Dude, I'd love to see you down there, Chris.
Come on.
He's got a lot of space. You can get out there and howl at the fucking moon, not bother anybody.
I've got a big old cabin, about 12,000 square foot. We'll have a pile of powder, a bunch of green buds, and plenty of white liquor. Come on.
I love it, Chris.
That sounds fun for you, Chris.
The perfect way to ring it in 2019.
Have a good holiday, y'all.
You too, buddy. Take care of yourself.
You know, the clackers, they kind of got, like, they remade them in the 80s and 90s so they weren't as dangerous. So, like, my version of clacker, because I remember people would be like, clackers are dangerous. And I'm like, I don't understand how. But if you put up a picture of like the difference, like they used to just be on a string, and then they kind of just like made them kind of lame. Because then they just became like like you'd have them as a party favor. They'd be fun for like 10 seconds. Yeah, those other ones seem fun.
The other ones, they were fun until someone's tooth went out. And everybody in the fucking neighborhood was making a big deal out of it. Hey, Kevin in Houston.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, man.
Fucking 85, 86, I got an 80cc Honda three-wheeler for Christmas. And the first 15 minutes fucking rolled that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I had a little girl in my street die when she flipped the go-kart. Flipped the go-kart and was killed. And, everyone's all acting like these kids today with their safety. And 4 kids on my fucking street died. 4 fucking kids on basically what I'm saying, a half a street. The fucking cul-de-sac half. 4 out of like
insane.
Fucking 14 houses. Most of it was getting hit by cars.
Ugh. The go-kart thing is horrible, though. That's like a horrible story.
Yeah, it was terrible. Made me sick, too, because she was like littler than me and just fucking hearing that. And then the boy that lived next door or across the street from me, he was so young, they buried him in his fucking Little League outfit.
Oh.
Like, you think that doesn't stick with me? I can't fucking picture that right now in my head. Anyway, how'd this turn so ugly? We were enjoying ourselves. Dangerous Christmas toys. We're number 1 in talk as far as... Can
I give you another dangerous toy I just remembered? The slip and slide was brutal.
Always wanted one of those.
Dude, it's not a good idea. Why would you be able to slip and slide on hard ground with just a tiny garbage bag thickness of material? It doesn't make any sense.
The biggest problem is when it was too dry and you just fucking hit it.
Yeah. And then also, even if you're like going at a good clip and you've got the hose going, you hit rock under there, it kills.
Yeah, you're right about that.
If there's like just one pebble under there.
It's fun to throw a dog down it, though. Like, there's a lot of things that are junk, but every once in a while you could grab a ride off that. That would be amazing. But the kids set it up weird places. There could be a driveway at the end.
Yeah.
Like, you won't find anything dumber than a fucking kid.
No, they should be trusted with nothing.
JT, what's up, buddy?
I grew up in the age of the arms race of BB guns.
Mm-hmm.
And they varied from spectrum from ultra powerful to the shitty ones that shot like 10 feet. And we would have BB gun wars. And for Christmas, I got the badass $150 one that you're only supposed to pump once.
Uh-huh.
And that was the rule of the game when we had our BB gun wars, which no safety glasses or anything.
Right.
But I always was pumping the hell out of that thing, boom, 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 about 10 times. And I hit one of my friends in his back, like where his spine is. And he says, "You son of a bitch, you're only supposed to pump it once." And I thought about Ralphie. I said, maybe I'll shoot this kid's eyes out. I don't know.
Dude, when I was in 7th grade, I went to school with a kid. He could not take a gym class with us, right? And he also couldn't take shop because something could hit him because he had a BB lodged behind his eye. It went down in the side of his eye, and it was just stuck there. And I guess they didn't have the technical fucking wherewithal to fucking get that thing out without blinding him.
Oh, God.
Now, here's the weirdest part of it. That dude looked like Disco Dent.
That's
really?
odd.
Yeah.
You don't think it's him, do you?
Disco Dan's the type of guy you want to shoot in the eye. Disco Dan going to the big party tonight?
I'm sure he is. He likes a free drink.
Vito, check in with him, right? Who else do we want to check in with?
We check in with Liam from the Boogie.
Well, Liam's going to be there. He has to. He'll be wearing a suit and trying to set people. How about Denny? I bet you think Denny's in or out?
I think Denny's in.
I think he's out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's a guy who wants to catch his train at train time.
I forgot about that.
You put him in here, he's going to give you a straight 40%. But after work, you're getting 0%. Where's he, out on the island?
Yeah,
Fucking Hicksville or somewhere way out there.
I think he is pretty far out there.
We're talking Suffolk County.
Is there one person here that we would even hang out with?
I was trying to think about that.
I mean, there's no way Jim and Sam are going to be there.
I don't know. I don't see them being there. Who, kid? He might be there.
There's no way that the Bonfire are going to be there.
No.
Nina might be there. She's fun to hang out with.
She would definitely be there. That's 100%. Yeah.
Dennis Falcone isn't going. He said he's not allowed to.
He's making that up.
That's what he said. He said,
when are you going to fucking, when you find out when people are yanking your fucking crank?
I was with him in a boundaries training session, and I don't disbelieve it.
You're accusing people of being sexual predators after what Fez caught you doing yesterday? And can I just say something? I am so proud of TR making a citizen's arrest on this fucker, this homophobic prick.
Citizen's arrest.
Michelle with 1L. I like to see her tonight.
No way. No, she's got two kids.
She got kids.
She can bring the kids.
It's to a drunk fucking party. No, it's not fucking family day.
Children.
I don't even think Johnny's going to be there.
I doubt it. He's usually out very early in the day.
He told me he was going to be there.
Yeah.
Saw him last night.
Did he tell you who the band was?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's the Stones. If it's the fucking E Street Band, I'll go out of my mind, you know. The way of, hey, when is that, when is the Bruce Springsteen thing going to be on Netflix?
16th, December 16th.
Well, what's today?
13th?
13th.
Let me see. So 16th is what, Sunday?
Yes, Sunday.
I'm watching fucking football, dude, and Counterpart, which I can't even understand anymore. That's how fucking confusing it is. Man, I got a fucking terrible headache. Maybe I'm not getting enough liquids, Chris.
You definitely need another glass of water.
No, I'm not going to get it with this fucking crew. Ever since Vinay left, nobody gives a shit about me.
He was so good with that.
I love some water, too.
He's good with everything. Vinay and Georgette Magritte and the dog after the war. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, these kids come in, they grab your heart, and then they're gone. Original Chris was back for that gig the other day, though.
Yeah, he was there for Stan and Ollie Unmasked, which airs tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Stan and Ollie Unmasked.
Stan and Ollie, Steve Coogan.
What
and
is
John
your
C.
fucking
Reilly.
hurry to say everything?
I have a hard time with the shorter words. And I tell
You're in
the
a
same-
hurry like the fucking time is running out.
The Stan and Ollie.
You know what? You talk like they still charge for long distance.
God, my parents were freaked out by long distance calls. I don't know why. They had no one to call long distance. And we didn't go anywhere.
Hey, Steve in Ontario.
Hey, Ron. Super Slider snow skates from the 70s. There's a YouTube video. Check out the kids going down the hill. They barely stand up, but they only show like 4 seconds. Insanely dangerous.
Let's take a look at it.
Broken arm fucking shoes.
Well, you know wow, that was insane. No kid.
Just a piece of plastic.
Yeah, and a
Strapped
kid
to
would
your
have to have some real fucking talent to be able to pull that off. But I even remember our sleds. It was always like fucking metal at the bottom, and somebody was always getting sliced up, you know, because they fell off their sled. Then another sled comes and rolls over top of them. Especially when we were on fucking Suicide Hill, right behind Smitty's house. I don't think that was an official name. I think that was something that the kids say. But I looked at a map of Twin Oaks and I did not see Suicide Hill there. Sad.
Never owned a sled.
Of course you wouldn't. Dude, let me tell you something. You want to have some fucking fun? Go to Central Park when it snows. These stupid fucking city kids are fucking walking up the same hill that they just slid down.
Oh.
And you just see kids getting fucking barreled. I've been up there and seen at least 80 kids get knocked fucking dick over asshole. Hilarious.
That sounds awesome.
This year, if it snows, we're going to send Vito there with the phone and fucking YouTube it. Thank you. One for each of us, huh, Vito? Pete, listen to this. I want you to sit down for a second. When it snows, this is going to be your job to go to Central Park on the east side. I know you don't believe in the east side.
Okay.
But up near the little pond that they have the things at, I watched the kids ram into each other with sleds.
Okay.
I sat and watched it one day for 2 fucking hours. It was so much fun. I just pissed right there in the snow instead of going out and finding it there.
All the kids by me sled on Riverside, where it's just a steep thing and then a gate at the end.
Yeah, and then you go right into the fucking West Side Highway. I'm always curious about over there where you live, though. There's so many human beings. I never see a supermarket.
There's like a Trader Joe's that just opened, but
you folks don't look like Trader Joe types.
Yeah, true.
We got a Whole Foods on 57th and Trader Joe's, but most people in my neighborhood, I think, go to like Fairway.
Yeah.
Fairway, Zabar's.
Zabar's is pretty far from you, though.
No, it's on like 80th or...
So how far of a walk is that?
Like 6-7 blocks.
Gee.
But they
6-7 avenues, though, right?
No, I'm on West End, so it's on Broadway, so it's one avenue up. The West Side's like pretty condensed because it's only West End, Broadway, Columbus, Amsterdam.
This is going to be fascinating for people who live in San Diego. I just see a lot of bodies over there. Not a lot of places did the shop. Not a lot to
nowhere
do.
to eat. There's no bars up until like 85th, and those are like college bars for Columbia. It's really just dead. From
the few times I've ever found myself in that area, I'm always starving and confused on what I'm supposed to do.
I end up not going to things out there because I don't know where I'm going to eat after.
We just have a Grace Papaya. I think that's our number one place
Believe
to
me,
eat.
don't I know it? I'm a fucking, what is it? What do they say? What kind of New Yorker?
Polite New Yorker?
Polite New Yorker gets the recession special.
Love the recession special.
They say a recession's coming soon.
Yeah.
Really?
I was watching all the Cohen shit last night, man. It was getting ugly. I felt for the guy.
Is he already in?
No, March 6th he goes in. So he gets to sit around and have Christmas with his... Everyone's like, why does he get to stay home for Christmas? I'm like, he's a Jew. What does he care? Just another fucking day. He's like, why does Bennington get to stay out for Chinese New Year?
I have a toy that fucked
you put
me
up your ass?
No, up my nose. I put up a rock from a Hot Wheels set up my nose. Had to go to the emergency room, and then I got stopped by a newscaster and got put on the ABC like nightly news talking about that.
Fat boy sticks up his nose.
Basically, I sent Chris a screenshot of it. It literally says "hurt by gift" under my name.
All right, let's just say this. I thought we were going to look at a 5-year-old boy. You look fucking 17 there.
Yeah, it was.
How old were you?
19, 18.
Why would something go up your nose at that age?
I was dumb and drunk. And
you were not drunk. You were just dumb. Let's Instagram that or whatever it's fucking called.
It's Instagram.
That is fucking hilarious.
That's amazing, man. Hurt by gift. Hurt by himself.
You look like you just joined the Navy because the Japs fucking bombed Pearl Harbor. Look at what a classic look that is.
You look kind of disgusted by the news.
No, I was pretty excited. I'm actually visiting Macy's to get my picture taken with Santa. That's on 34th Street.
You're the fucking... you know what? I can't even say the word you are. What was the word you called all your friends?
I called one of my friends that.
This is back when you were fucking calling people gay fucking slangs.
I don't do that anymore, though. That's a thing in the past that I apologize for, and I will never do again.
That is good mea culpa. Is that what that's called?
What is the LOL Instagram about? I thought Instagram is what we switched to.
No,
I don't know what all these fucking things are.
Yeah, Instagram. Bennington SXM.
I thought that's where all the fucking kids were these days.
It is. That's where all we hang out at is Instagram. We don't even go out anymore. That's our bar.
But you made me think of something with Hot Wheels that we used to hit each other with the tracks. And the thing was, no hitting in the face, but you could hit on the back of the legs.
Like a Singapore cane.
Oh, God. It would fucking slice into you. Like using a piano wire on a kid. You keep looking for yourself on the gram?
No, it is up there now. It is.
Now, let me say it. Well, it looks like you from the other day.
That's the brawny version of you.
Look at you really sucking your gut in, too.
No, I've just lost some weight.
No. You're sucking. Look, you might have lost all the weight in the world, but you are sucking your gut in. Just fucking admit it.
You want to look good for the gram. It's understandable, all right?
Sexy.
Well, my phone just got fucked up and it's not going through.
I figured. There you are. There's fucking Geppetto. He can't find his son Pinocchio.
Hurt by gift.
Yeah, they didn't give me a heads up that that's what it was going to say on the news that night. So I was really excited to see.
What do you think they were going to say? Good-looking boy is down at Macy's like a fucking pederast.
They're not going to consult you on copy. It's up to them.
They made sure my name was spelled right. That was nice of them.
Yeah, Greasy Khaleesi they put up there.
Oh my God!
Like
did anyone call that?
You look like somebody was going to be mean to Ron Howard, and fucking Fonzie had to come to the rescue. What's the toy the hot toy of this year?
Oh,
you were sending out the story.
Wait, I got to look up the exact name because it's like the Poopy.
The Poopy what?
The Poopy. It's a unicorn. It's the Poopsie Prize Surprise Unicorn. And it shits out little glitter things, and that's what the hot toy is this year.
Shits?
It's Poopsie.
Do I need to get Juliet this?
Chris, why don't you put some volume on it so we can understand it?
Rather y'all were crushed, and indeed the rock was moving, crumbling all the dust. He ran under it with one last hope.
You got the wrong fucking audio up, idiot.
What the fuck just happened?
Is that the Poopsie theme song, maybe?
That's not the Poopsie theme song.
I think
he was playing, what's his name? Cats in the Cradle guy.
All right, Harry Chapin. All right, here's the Poopsie.
Unicorn who eats food and poops unicorn slime, which we get to play with. I can't wait. Me too. The front of the box shows us who we're gonna get. In the white package, we have either Oopsie Starlight or Rainbow Bright Star.
In the purple package, we have Dazzle Darling and Whoopsie Doodle. Let's pick one. This is the longest unboxing ever. Check out how it unrolls. Grab the
So it's just a toy with a bunch of different toys in it?
Good down there? Yeah. It's like 8 feet long.
Ooh, the packages are so cute too.
Vito, you're the one who sent this. Explain it to us.
So it's literally just a toy that you put stuff into.
Now you stop it.
You put stuff into, and then the toy shits out little glitter poop, and then like you get to play with the slime like kids play with Silly Putty or anything. But you can also fashion the unicorn itself. So it's a doll.
I probably would have liked it because I was always a big fan of like any kind of goo or gack. That was very 90s too. It was like all the toys were like that. And then it came back. I don't know why.
Okay, this is the thing, Vito. You feed it powder and water.
Yeah.
And then it fucking turns into a solid poop that you can play with.
Yeah, like a nice Silly Putty.
It's like Goatsy the toy.
But I remember like when kids really liked the babies that shit, like the baby dolls that shit. But this is just the next level where you get to actually play with the shits.
Awful, man.
No, it's great because it's glittery and slimy.
What if kids then start playing with their own poops? Like, this is a fucking terrible idea.
This one's pretty.
They're fucking 9. They're not going to start playing with their own poop.
They put this unicorn's shit into a 7-Eleven Slurpee cup and then have them drink it. It looks like.
I feel bad because I went and got a Juliet the Trump bear, thinking that was going to be the toy of the year.
Trumpy bear?
Yeah.
Please don't.
Why?
She does not need a Trumpy bear.
Doesn't she want a MAGA?
No.
Does Trumpy bear shit? Because that seems like what all the cool toys do now.
Yeah, it's all over America.
That was a whole set.
You can take her to see the fucking Cohen rabbit in fucking jail for the next 2 years.
I saw a Trumpy bear commercial and I actually thought that it was a fake commercial. I thought it was like an SNL thing.
It's selling big.
Oh, I didn't know Trumpy bear was a real thing.
No,
It's actually real.
Yeah, they have an official commercial. It's airing on Fox.
And it's going like gangbusters. People are fighting over it to get it. You know, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a collectible from this fucking time. The Trumpy Bear. You know, people are going to beg. It's going to like, imagine if you would have had a fucking Hitler rabbit. You know what I mean? Like years later, I'm like, really? This is fucking great.
This is so weird.
Oh, nice. There's a nice long tie.
Yeah.
Great
Long
hair.
tie, he's fucking man spreading. All right, so the other day when the two Democrats were in with him, right? Do you remember when she came outside and was saying that, you know, whatever she was saying? She was wearing a coat. Now everybody is asking for it, and the place is trying to put it back on the market because it was like an old coat that she had kept.
Really?
Yeah, and that like so many people asked about her coat.
This is the red coat that that they want. So I guess it was vintage.
I mean, it just
How vintage though?
It looks like the kind of things that like Hillary used to wear.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It ain't vintage from like the 40s. It might be vintage from, you know, fucking 14 years ago.
2013 was when the last time this coat was made.
Vintage, huh,
Wow,
Chris?
nostalgia. You know you're a 90s kid when you like jackets from 2013.
You ever notice you can't even give us a fact ever?
It's
like it's fucking unbelievable. You don't give a helpful fact.
I jumped the gun to facts.
Earl, you want to give us out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
And whether you sound sad about it.
You know, it's just a weird list this year. And I
What was an unweird list for you? What was a year that you were very happy with?
The first one, it was pretty solid. It was Chuck Berry.
It's easy.
Yes. Anybody could have fucking picked who belongs there in the first year. By the way, the first year was like 30 years ago. So you've been unhappy every year since?
It's kind of been on a weird trajectory for the last 10, 15 years. It really has.
All right, don't even bother reading the list.
But this one,
no, don't bother unless you're enthusiastic.
No,
unless you're back to caring about The Rock, the way Scott Muni was. I'm just glad that Scott Muni isn't alive.
Oh God,
and nothing to do with you, Earl. I'm just glad that man's gone.
There is one inductee. There's one inductee this year. I'm super happy about. Roxy Music.
Def Leppard.
Roxy Music.
Yes.
Much deserved.
Ease, dude. Relax.
Okay.
This should be a fun fucking time for all of us. First, you take it from depressing, and then when you catch me doing a joke, you scream Roxy Music at me because you want me to go, oh my God, I love Roxy Music. And I do, Earl. I do.
Like long overdue Roxy Music. And then we got another.
What about the zombies? I mean,
He
that's
doesn't
deserved.
care about the zombies. He doesn't even like them. Oh, they're so shitty. Look, you got Roxy Music, you got the zombies, you got fucking Radiohead.
3 excellent inductees. I mean, I'm not disputing that at all. I mean, I think.
Well, what is so weird to you? What is so peculiar? Why are you bullying people for being different, Earl?
Well, the odd one for me was Janet Jackson getting in.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
And I am.
Why wouldn't you put Janet Jackson in? The Rhythm Nation was fucking gigantic in the 80s.
No, it was. I mean, Control was gigantic. Rhythm Nation was gigantic. Velvet Rope, gigantic.
So what's your beef?
Velvet Rope is like one of the best albums ever. That's such a great album.
What is your racist beef?
I mean, I would have put. I think it was clearly a woman vote because they wanted another woman in there.
I get it.
Misogyny
No.
raises it. That's the interesting thing.
Unbelievable.
Minorities are always mean to other minorities.
Yes. This is anti-black misogyny.
You know who's not mean to minorities is white guys.
Yeah.
We love them.
They really are, though.
No, but I would have placed, let's say, if instead of Janet Jackson, I would have placed someone, let's say, like a Kate Bush or Bjork. Definitely qualifies.
Why are women fighting about women? Why wouldn't you say I would have taken Radiohead out and put Bjork there? You know what I mean?
I would have taken The Cure out. You know,
First of all, hold your tongue. I love The Cure.
He hates The Cure.
No,
You hate
love that
women.
band. I've seen
You
them multiple times.
Admit it, Earl, you hate women and goths.
This is actually a fun list, Earl, and you've turned it into, you know why? Because he's used to doing that. He's around Eddie Trunk, and he like the plays up with him, and he's like, "Oh, do you believe fucking Iron Maiden isn't there?" And this fucking bitch, this whore bitch, makes it in. Misogyny doesn't fucking roll with us.
I never said anything.
Particularly when it's fucking African American misogyny. Earl.
Do you have a problem with Stevie being in there too? Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. I think I would have. She belongs in there as a member of Fleetwood Mac.
He's already in there as a member.
And
of
I think I think the solo career was kind of spotty.
Oh
shit!
Hey!
Oh my God!
Stop dragging her rep around.
Belladonna, monster album, love it. Edge of 17.
That should be enough.
Yeah, but you're crediting a extended career. You know,
every fucking girl back then looked exactly like her. You know what I mean? Did anyone ever try to look like Kate Bush even once in their life?
No, but you can make a better argument for Pat Benatar before you make an argument for Stevie Nicks.
Again, why is it women versus women?
Yeah.
How many
it's not a woman's
bitches
spot.
you allowed to allow in here, Earl? Crabs in a pot. You're fucking Nick Cannon right now. You're the Nick Cannon of radio.
You know, and I'm upset that, Rage didn't get in. Todd Rundgren didn't get in. Who's more deserving than Todd Rundgren?
Apparently these people are all.
He's not throwing them up against other men, too. He only did that with
I just named two dudes.
But you didn't say, they deserve it more than this man, like you did with all the women. And my mom will never date you now after all the stuff you said about Stevie Nicks.
She still will.
No,
you know why?
Why?
None of this gets in the way to the BBC.
Good point. BBC breaks all barriers.
I bet Ian's been with your mom.
Maybe. I don't know. Those two did. They met up before my birthday and then met me there last year. So they look sweaty.
There was at least some oral going down.
Come on.
Is that worse for you to think?
Look, Leslie can do whatever she wants with any color, race, religion, as long as it's not Earl. That's just all I want.
No, as long as they're not gay, right?
Well,
you fucking homophobic.
I'm not a homophobe. I'm sorry.
You've been screen grabbed by Fez.
Yeah, no, that's upsetting to hear.
I guess you apologized to him?
I apologized on air, but I wrote out an apology that I need to actually send to him.
He said much more recent. You said stuff.
It was not much more recent.
Why are you so homophobic?
I'm not homophobic. I just did some stupid shit when I was a kid. I feel like we were all crazy kids, right, guys?
We all did a little gay bashing, didn't we?
I didn't do any bashing. I just used
Let's
words.
say what I did when I was a kid. Oh, yeah, I know. I went door to door to help combat AIDS. What's a leg? Oh, by the way, did you see Michael Jordan fucking slap a player and everybody thought it was adorable?
Twice.
Yeah. Slapped him in the back of the fucking head.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, man, he's in trouble with Michael. Michael can get away with anything.
He does not like to lose.
Hey, I forgot. I'm going to play a fuck song today from his band. Now, do we even know the name of it? Is it Fizzy Clam? I mean, there's no...
I think Fuzzy
Clam.
Fuzzy Clam.
Well, why is there an N there? They've taken all the vowels out. That's why I'm trying to guess. Oh, Fuzzy Coleman is the name of it.
Fuzzy Clam.
Yeah.
Very different.
Let's say this. Is he singing? Do you know what his first name is for real, Fox?
Billy.
Okay, so he's which one? There's a drummer and a bassist. So are we going to play Where Have You Been for him?
That's the one.
That's the one. Did he write back?
Yes, he did.
Because I can't hear from you fuckers. What are you doing? Get out of here. It's not time for this yet. You see me reading it. Now, this is what I love about it. So this was recorded at Backroom Studios by Gabriel Francis, mixed and mastered by Scott Moriarty, the father we never found, and recording assistance by Emily Skinner. Who puts all that as big as the fucking guys in the bandstands?
They're very grateful.
Dads.
Very thorough with the credits.
Go pick up your Bennington Show shirts.
It's available at the iBangShop.com right now, iBangShop.com. And the last chance to order to get shirts delivered on time for Christmas is December 20th. So go to iBangShop before then to guarantee Christmas delivery.
The last chance. Mexico. Ricky Lee's not in the Hall of Fame, bro. You don't see me fucking squealing.
And that's a gross injustice.
What would you do? Take out fucking Janet Jackson?
I would be swapping out left and right people who are in that shouldn't be in and people who are not who should be.
Stop it, Eddie Trunk. Just fucking enjoy life. 7 people go in there a year. 7. They just fucking chuck them in like there's no tomorrow. I'm in there.
For what?
It's the way I was singing Last Chance Texaco.
Oh, wow.
I call it a cover from Another Mother. Fucking Fuzzy Coleman is in there.
Good for them.
For their new EP. Their self-titled EP. Earl, I want you to listen to this with your fucking radio ears, okay?
Yes.
Not your hard rock, fucking museum of rock ideas. Wait, you had it in here the whole time?
I was just told that it's available on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon.
That you plugging now?
Is that real?
I'm asking, why would you start laughing? I'm asking, are you plugging?
I was it sent me a note and asked if we can mention.
So the answer would be yes.
The answer is yes. Yes.
But I had to go running back to get this fucking the CD, because I forgot it today. Like an idiot, even after I had called my Uber. The Uber guy thought that I'd run away from him. I told the fucking, it was so packed today. I told the Uber guy I would get out here, and I was on Park. But this is weird. I called it Central Avenue, which is in Florida. I go, I'll just get out at Central Avenue. He's like, where? I go Central, 49th Street, you know. And I'm like, uh-oh. Pop-Up's going crazy. I'm at that age now, you know, when you're a grandfather.
Yep.
Start to say fucking shit. You know, you're like, I can't find my shoes, and then they're in the freezer. You know what? We were having a lot of fun till Earl brought us all down with that negativity.
And sexism.
From word one.
Yeah. From turd one is more like it. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
I wish you could still use homophobic slurs.
You can if you want. I think we all should just do it just once.
No, let's just only do that on Gay Pride Day.
You know, you're right. Make it count.
Oh, look who's laughing the hardest. The fucking homophobe. We're joking.
Shit. It's a sting.
Trump said he never told Cohen to do anything incorrect or wrong. He goes, he's a fucking lawyer. He is the one who was supposed to be telling me what to do.
I only ever told him to do right and correct things for me and him.
All of his friends are fucking flipping one after the other.
Yeah.
But didn't he already admit that he was the one who told him what to do? Didn't he just have to?
Yeah, he used to say that. He's changed.
Because at first he said he didn't tell him to do anything. Then I thought he said he did. And now he's back to saying he didn't?
He told him to shut down the government. He likes to slip it up a little bit. Look, it's our friend Ken in Rhode Island. Hey, Ken.
Hey, happy holidays, everybody.
We say Merry Christmas around these Christian parts.
Okay, Merry Christmas.
Well.
Dude, I just want to talk about Todd Rundgren. I hate to bring more negativity, but Earl's absolutely right. There is nobody. I mean, look at the record. Not the record, but his track record. I mean, there's obviously some kind of personal bias at work, and that's coming from somebody who has defended the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when a lot of other people were slagging it, but I cannot anymore that this guy is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He finished third in the fan voting, for God's sake, and that's pretty amazing considering who the other people were.
Well, here's the thing about Todd. I think they're against him for singing with an Upper Darby accent.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of accent to that. But here's another thing that I should... Well, first of all, he's a great fucking singer. I mean, it's one of my favorite voices in the history of rock. He's a great fucking musician. He's a great songwriter. He's a great producer. But I would give him extra rock points for this. He raised Steven Tyler's kid. He raised Liv Tyler without telling her that he wasn't her real dad. That's going out of your way to be nice.
I'm shocked she didn't figure it out earlier.
So I had Liv Tyler in here one time, right? And I bring up Todd to her. And she goes, my favorite song by him, it's like that. It's Hello, It's Me. And I go, you go really fucking deep with Todd, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Well, I just wanted to put in that word and wish you guys all Merry Christmas. And
same to you, my friend.
Maybe one day Todd will get in. I hope so.
Well, I think Fuzzy Coleman will get in first. Foxpan.
Might happen.
Yeah.
Might happen.
We're going to, after we break, we're going to come back and play a song by him. Do we know how long Where Have You Been is?
It's 5 minutes.
That's asking a lot.
Yeah. It's a long track.
You love it, though?
I've not listened to it yet.
Aren't you the producer of this program?
Yes, but I wasn't aware that it was up on Spotify until just moments ago.
Why do you I don't know why. Go. All right, Ken. Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, guys. Be well. Bye.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
I say happy Honda days.
Yeah, now they want us to get rid of that. You know what I mean? These fucking snowflakes. We can't even play the fucking Christmas rape song. I love the cornhole. Baby, it's cold outside. Now, see if this makes you feel any different about it. There is a version of that with Lady Gaga and I don't know who he is, that little fucking weird actor from 500 Days of Summer.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Whatever. I thought what I'd done was plenty. It's all he deserved. But they take it where she's the aggressive one.
Okay.
She's like, I'm going to rape you.
I still don't think that it's okay to rape and force anyone to have sex on Christmas.
Slipping stuff into somebody's drink is never okay.
That never comes up.
Well, in the thing, she says, "What's in this drink?" And I always took it as like,
I never even noticed that.
Yeah, she says, "What's in this drink?" Which I just, maybe it's not implied that like he slipped her a Mickey, but at very least
could have been jizz.
He's making the drinks like super strong.
Yeah,
and now she's like, "What's in this drink?"
I'm feeling like fentanyl. When I woke up, my panties were down. Now he's digging a hole. He's throwing me in. Hey, when Ken called to fucking stick up for you, he didn't say a word. You should have been there for him.
He was pretty thorough at the fence.
I'll let him go on his own, right?
I mean, I could have mentioned, the stuff the producer stuff alone he should have got in for. New York Dolls, Meatloaf.
Really, anybody who produces Meatloaf owes us all an apology. Did you ever? You all right, bro?
Holy shit!
What just happened? What happened, Vito? Vito, how'd you hurt yourself sitting in a chair?
I almost dropped my phone, and then I just threw it into my dick.
You threw your phone into your dick? Call ABC. We got a new one. Boy hurts his dick at Christmas.
Dick hurt by phone.
You homophobic bastard.
He's homophobic, but I love him.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
So did you ever see that? And it's on. Is it Axis TV? Is that it? The Axis $2.99 in the city.
Yeah, AXS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it pronounced Axis or Axis?
I think it's Axis.
It's the one that has Eddie Trunk's Trunk Fest. So they have a thing called Classic Albums, and they go back. They're in the studio and they're fucking playing around. Listen to this. So he's playing some fucking stupid Meatloaf song. Maybe 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It's one of those fucking pieces of shit. So he said, now the Eagles were big at this time. The Eagles were big. And the fucking record label said, make one of the songs sound like the Eagles. And I'm laughing. I'm like, fucking Meatloaf sounds nothing like the Eagles. He pulls shit down, and you hear the backup singers, and it sounds exactly like the fucking Eagles.
Weird.
Exactly.
It's crazy. I've never listened to that much of the Eagles, but I don't. I'm still thinking about my dick. I'm sorry.
You don't belong in this. No one needed you to fucking talk.
I don't know why.
So, Earl, what's the name of that album?
Bat Out of Hell.
So that starts with like the motorcycle fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the other part of this that goes to show you where fucking Rundgren's head is at. So they keep saying to him, we want to start that with a motorcycle loop. We want to start. He's not paying attention to him, you know? And then they're like, aren't you going to like put a fucking sound effect of a motorcycle starting up? And he goes, it's fucking shitty and hack. And they keep asking for it. And he goes, I'll fucking do a motorcycle for you. He just takes his fucking guitar and makes it sound like a fucking motorcycle starting up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Todd. No wonder Earl fucking would not stick up for you with Ken.
I was sticking up for Todd.
He didn't say nothing when Ken came in here and put his heart out.
You only stick up for Todd over women.
You've made this the worst Kwanzaa we've ever fucking had. What day is Kwanzaa this year, Earl?
I couldn't tell you. Probably think it starts right after Christmas.
What are you giving your parents? Zebra pelts? What have you decided to give them?
For Christmas, I give them what I give every year, and they love it.
Kwanzaa,
we don't celebrate Kwanzaa.
What are you giving them for Christmas? A big bucket of Mary Jane's?
No, I always give, and they love it. I always give them cash.
How much?
$200 a piece.
It's like my super, man. It's your parents, bro. Come on.
Would you let that laugh fucking breathe? He doesn't get a lot of laughs.
I don't.
Even Dickless was over here having the time of his life. You see how quick he was saying, that's what I give my super?
Oh my God.
One of the things you got to learn about timing, Earl, is just let it fucking breathe, okay?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Like it's a fine wine, not a fucking street wine. You give them $200 a piece. You give the maid 15. You fucking explain that to us. And that's a day.
15.
And your mom still makes your bed.
That she doesn't do.
She does?
She does not.
You said that she doesn't.
She does not. Does not.
Doesn't go that way.
You're all turned around, Earl.
You see? You fucked yourself up. You could have been the guy who got off the big line and everybody would have liked him.
Now you just look like shit yet again.
All right, we're going to play some Fuzzy Coleman when we get back. I'd say give it a smash or trash, but you know what? It's Christmas. Let's just smash everything from this point on. You know what I'm saying, Earl?
Yeah.
I wish every day could be Christmas.
Always.
Gail, you going to be with the baby for Christmas this year or no?
I am going to be with my child, yes.
I thought maybe you wanted to go down to the islands,
No.
put her with a sitter for a couple of days.
No, I'm going to be with my baby for her first Christmas.
How about those pictures for today, right?
I know.
Do you take those?
Yeah,
Those are the most beautiful things. That looks like a magazine.
I know.
Like
It's pretty insane.
If there was ever a magazine sold to children by children, like babies make it, babies take the pictures, go into the dark room.
For us, by us.
Yes. For babies by babies. By the way, black people haven't bought those clothes in fucking 15 years.
Or the FUBU. I haven't seen FUBU in forever.
No, all you got to do is turn on Shark Tank. He fucking brings it up every day like he came up with penicillin. Yeah, I love these pictures, Gail. Gorgeous. Gorgeous baby.
I know.
Happy
Crazy.
baby. Am I crazy when I say that?
No, she's very happy. She's happy to be a baby.
How does she sit up so early, though? Look
Doesn't
at this.
make any sense.
It's 4 months.
That's nuts.
It's really, really unexpected that she is able to sit like that at 4 months old.
My sisters went crazy when I sent those. Well, my sisters are crazy. What I'm saying is my sisters stayed crazy when I sent those.
What did they say?
Love her so much. She's the best baby. They're really on her side.
Yeah. She's likable.
She is likable. I guess she's a lot like me. The dangerous type. I wonder if I bring her into the family business, the CIA part.
I didn't know about that part.
Oh, yeah. I kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah.
Should you be saying this?
Mm-hmm. I'm covered. I got a license to ill.
That's really cool.
Is that all inclusive?
Yeah. I get ill wherever the fuck I went to, thanks to what I like to call Sydney, the CIA. I got to get down to Langley anyway. I got a couple of my fucking paychecks fucked up. I'm supposed to get a bonus when I got to kill somebody. They're saying, we can't pay for that one. It's an American. I go, so? Still was a bad person.
Seems she should get more for that.
No. I'm part of the, fucking entire thing that's deep state is what I'm part of.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's what we are, CIA.
Oh.
We set them up, knock them down.
Are you talking about false flag?
I'm running the Banana Republic right now. The first Banana Republic that is in Europe. So it's very difficult to get going. I'm not going to tell you what country, but it's Norway. I'm going to turn that place into a fucking hellhole.
It's too cold for bananas there, man.
Yeah, I'm finding that out, Chris. Where were you fucking 6 months ago when I was assigned?
I didn't know you were in the CIA then.
I guess I could have used you on my fucking hit squad, my death squad.
I'd love to be part of a death squad.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. The whole squad gets along good. And Thursday nights, we bowl. I don't care what's going on. We need one social night. One night without blood, I like to say.
Good old Thirsty Thursdays.
Oh.
We have fun.
We get fucked up, man. Fucked up. And anyone that we're playing against, any other team, between me and you, we poison.
So you're still getting some killing done.
No. Just enough to make them very, very sick.
Okay.
And some of them forget their identity. Some of them lose their identity. But, I mean, the number of Muslims alone that we've killed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Fun, though. It's good, man. You know what I mean? You feel like a patriot. 2 weeks ago, I killed a child.
That doesn't see. Why would you have to kill a child?
Oh, it was a DUI. Had nothing to do with my work there.
Oh.
But no one's allowed. I'm untouchable. No one could do anything. I got a license to ill.
You're banking a lot on this license to ill.
Dude, maybe you're not fucking familiar with the deep state, but we run everything. Everything. We were behind 9/11.
Oh, God, all right.
We killed Martin Luther King, Kennedy, Malcolm X. We killed David Bowie.
Why Bowie?
Let's just say we had our treasons. That's the joke that we have. We think somebody's being un-American.
You guys are funny.
Sometimes we don't even need a treason. We even set up Trump with all this fucking Russian collusion stuff. That's us. Black Ops.
It should be secret.
Hmm?
It should be
It is secret, but you ask me questions, I'm going to fucking answer you. You know?
He's an honest guy, Chris.
Yeah. Black Ops, won't you come and kill all these kids? Black Ops, won't you come? You know why we kill kids?
Why?
Easiest. It's the easiest thing we do.
Don't you feel bad for killing children?
Oh, we got rid of our feelings a long time ago, buddy. A long clucking time ago. So we ready to play some rock?
Yeah, we have Fuzzy Coleman's song "Where Have You Been" ready.
Are we going to break first or break after?
We could break first.
All right, we'll break first. When we come back, you're going to hear some Fuzzy Coleman. That's our buddy Fuck. And I'll just say this for those about to rock, we salute you. Bennington Show.
Welcome back to Bennington. That was "Where Have You Been" by Fuzzy Coleman, which is available on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube.
Really, so you're playing air drums over there.
Yeah, I was digging it. The drummer's killing it. Absolutely killing it. The whole band is. I'm digging this track. I dig this track.
Well, if you ever get any white people in your Black Rock Coalition, Fuzzy Coleman is the way to go.
I'm a fan of I like prog rock as a whole, and again, I really dug this band.
What's that? You don't know him?
No, not at all.
It's everybody Fuck. What would you say? It sound like a kind of like a jazz influence. It's like if Weather Report met Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and they ended up at a Uriah Heep show.
It's kind of like, there's definitely a fusion thing happening. There's a little bit of a Rush thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
Vocally, there's a bit of an Ozzy thing happening. All of it very good.
It's like the modern prog that's like kind of reminds me of Coheed and Cambria, who I liked a lot in my youth.
Okay.
No, Coheed and Cambria, they played the Hard Rock for Comic-Con, and they destroyed. They were really good.
Are they going to be there tonight for our party?
No idea.
Please.
I was telling everybody up and down the hall that I'm bringing teacups packed with cocaine. I go,
fun.
I go, if you're going to have a glass of hot tea, I go, look close. Might just be packed with cocaine. Have some real fucking fun, right, Earl?
Turn the party up a notch, definitely.
Yeah. Get some ODs going. Get everybody forget about the divisiveness that's going on in this country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come together over a bump.
Yeah, but a bump the size of a fucking trash can lid. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba. You were loving it, huh, Earl?
I was digging. I'm usually not a very good first listen person.
You're the worst.
I am. You're 100% correct.
I am.
But I mean, first listen, I was very, very impressed.
First time Earl heard Deep Purple, he says it sounds like somebody's taking a deep shit.
Harsh, man.
Yeah.
You're a dick.
Well, he's got the band out there. He's getting some buzz. You know, he had his Wonders moment. It's our buddy Fuck. What's up, Fuck?
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Listen to the applause break you're getting.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm on the app, so I actually just listened to you guys playing me on the radio, and I didn't listen to what you thought of it yet. So,
Earl, repeat to him.
Really dug it, and I'm usually not a very good first listen guy. Great musicianship.
Not a good. You're a shit first listen.
Yes.
You're an awful person.
I'm not an awful person. I try not to be. But really dug the track, and, killer band.
Would you tell him to stick with it?
Absolutely. Stay with it.
Until what happens?
So you get a hit record. But really,
and then what?
make another one. Make another great album. But I mean, I'm telling you, great. Seriously, killer track.
You feel like you were listening to Blue Oyster Cult, but it was 1973. Feel like it was Stairway to the Stars.
No, Stairway to the Stars. No, but again, were you drumming, or who's the drummer on that?
Yeah, I'm the drummer.
You're killing it, bro. Killing it.
Earl was playing air drums the entire time.
Hell yeah. I can't thank you guys enough, man. This really means like the world to me. Like I cannot express my gratitude enough. I'm like shaking right now. I'm so amped up.
I love it, buddy.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll play it every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. That'll be our new theme song. Thanks, Buck. Take care of yourself, buddy.
Great
Thank
job.
you guys.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. My body's starting to hurt. Like maybe I got some kind of I don't know what's going on right now. From what I understand, it's some kind of a deadly medieval thing because a lot of the kids aren't getting shots.
Yeah, the no vaccines thing. There's I think it's like a polio type thing that's coming around.
No, it's not polio. It's something that's been around been gone longer than polio. Some middle age bullshit.
Like a plague?
No, it's not
Bubonic plague.
I would hope not. Which, by the way, would have been a great name for Fox Band. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Earl, who's your favorite prog band of all time? King Crimson?
They're up there. Crimson. I still consider early Genesis prog rock.
No, you don't even. They definitely were. They definitely were.
Yes. Gotta go with Yes. Those are my top 3 prog.
What about for you, Chris?
I want to say King Crimson, maybe a Tool.
Well, wait, but why don't you say their fucking name properly?
King Crimson. Tool. I believe that's prog
You're a
rock.
Tool boy?
Tool's all right. I like their music videos.
Talk about modern, huh?
Yeah.
And it throws a curve now, something we wouldn't expect.
I'm going to say ELP.
Yeah, I forgot about ELP.
Something that's come up 8 times. in the
New
last-
Order. I think they're prog rock.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. They're definitely not.
Sounds like you're just lying to try to get in with people.
I'm just trying to be in the prog boys.
Prog boys.
I call any progressive band libtards.
Libtard cucks.
There's still a lot of people that got mad at Genesis for changing their sound.
Very. Vernon, who's a big prog rock fan,
Who's Vernon listen to?
He's a big Genesis fan. Yes, like worships. Yes, ELP, Crimson. Him and Robert Fripp became buddies because he interviewed him for I think Guitar Player magazine, and they became very good friends. And he's still mad at Genesis for that whole Invisible Touch period.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, "What?"
He loves it.
No, he hates it. He was like, "What did he? What?"
Well,
did they
here's
do?
what happened. Peter Gabriel stopped being in the band, so we went in a different direction. Sorry, Earl. We can't fucking be a Peter Gabriel band without Peter Gabriel. He started this shit. He's the one who wanted to go out and shock the monkey, not us. I mean, I did a side project with Mike and the Mechanics, and that was kind of poppy.
All I need is a miracle.
Well, the fucking one about the father dying was the giant hit.
Oh God, Living Years.
Yeah, Living Years. Can't even fucking make it through that fucking song without fucking Chris Stanley breaking down, sobbing because his dad died.
Yeah.
You never got around to tell him that you loved him.
No, it was very contentious with
Why
you and I.
don't you look at the sky now and tell him?
Hey, John. Despite
Hold on, you call him John?
Say dad.
Hey, Dad.
Daddy, the way you used to say it when he was alive. When you were sitting on his.
Daddy, love you, Daddy.
Why you joke about it? Your father was passed away.
Yeah, it's been a while now too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it doesn't bother you anymore?
I try not
You're
to think
over
about it. I'm sure I'm not over it. Daddy, I'm sorry, and I love you.
You're a mocker.
I'm not mocking anything.
You are mocking.
Your own father.
There was little fucking true emotion in that, Chris. That's why I want to break through with you. If I'm ever going to turn Pinocchio into a real boy, I got him to have a heart. Earl's dad's still alive, and he cries when he hears "Living Years."
Always. How can you not? With that, one of the great vocalists ever, Paul Carrick.
Let me ask you this, Earl. Would you consider Jethro Tull to be progressive?
Yes. Definitely the thick of the brick period where the whole album side was one song.
The whole album side was the entire fucking album.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
They did turn the fucking album over. Here's the second part of the song.
Yes.
I have one. Is Procol Harum progressive?
That's an interesting call.
They were kind of considered the forefathers of prog rock.
Okay.
But they were also like kind of considered even the forefathers of like heavy rock.
Yes, that's true. Like they used to call it heavy music then. It wasn't called hard rock. They didn't know what to really call it. Jeff Beck.
Have you been alive forever, Earl? The way you talk, it sounds like you've been alive forever.
You're a vampire, aren't you?
He's a black vampire.
Okay, you didn't have to mention it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what fucking color you are.
That's a good point.
Just, I always said it was long walks and liner notes. That's why I got to know so much about music.
What was your long walks?
To and from school.
Do you ever look down and only see one pair of fucking footprints there? And you're like, why was I forsaken? And then Jesus says, no, I was listening to King Crimson with you, my son. Me and Chris Stanley's dad.
No.
Can you walk and read liner notes at the same time?
No.
Where'd you used to steal your records?
No, I bought my records at Crazy Eddie's on Queens Boulevard, at The Wiz.
That's
Record
not
Hunter.
fucking politically correct. It should be special needs Eddie's.
And the urine, not the whiz.
If I ever saw Crazy Eddie had a sale, I'm like, I can't take this. I don't even know if he's in the right.
I don't want to steal from the guy.
Yeah.
He seems confused.
He's taking advantage of the man.
Every album is a penny. That's right. The entire Beatles collection for 15 cents. I'm going insane. I'm seriously having problems right now.
Yeah, the Christmas and August ones and the Christmas and July specials were always pretty, would pack the stores out.
That's to let you know how insane the poor man was. He couldn't have been further away from Christmas. Or as you call it, Earl, St. Crispin's Day.
I did get my Elvis Costello education from those sales, though. I bought all those records for $3.99.
Brand new Bennington shirt is available at the ibangshop.com. It's the only shirt that has Juliet on it.
And your last chance to order to get the shirt delivered on time for Christmas is December 20th at noon at the ibangshop.com.
You make it seem like they're going to wait until that second. ibangshop.com, where you get your Bennington shirts. Was I doing that like a prog rock?
I thought it was.
Yeah, I did too. For a while, I thought you guys were talking about frog rock, and I'm like, wow, this has gotten weird.
Frogs need rock too.
No, they absolutely don't, Chris. Gail, did you see the attack in the witches in Philly? That was cracking me up.
Oh, yes. There was a brutal attack by one lone protester at a shop that looks like it just sells incense and has some tarot cards. They have some crystals there, and this dude is straight up protesting because it's the devil's business.
Well, the devil did go down to Georgia, and he was looking for a soul to steal.
This guy is hilarious, though.
Yeah. Gail, did you notice that you were on the other side of the William Shatner thing? He is on the side of Baby It's Cold Outside, and he's fighting with his own fans.
Really?
Yeah.
What? He's
like, hey, man, that song's been around my whole life, and the Shat's going to sing it. He was so mad, he said the Shat's going to hit the fan.
You should say that more often.
Ooh. Steph Curry said that he was only kidding. How many times are you going to buy the bad story, Vito? Every single time there's a story that turns out to be not a story, you're the one who hands it in.
I'm just never going to believe anybody ever again. I'm done. I'm just too stupid for this.
Jesus.
Hey, what kind of music did your dad listen to before he passed away?
I've never talked to my mom about that. The only thing I don't...
You're not even curious about your dad?
That's just something I never thought, like, I know they like disco music, but my mom's music taste is so just all over the place that I never even thought about what my dad would listen to.
That doesn't make sense. And why do you say it like it's a bad thing when people are like, oh, I like all kinds of music? So does Earl. Is there one type of music you don't like, Earl? Oh, white.
Like white music.
Oh, okay.
I like all types of music.
That's what he just said about his dad. And by the way, I don't know if anyone ever sits down and just at their house listens to disco. You know what I mean?
Growing up, my mom actually did that on Saturday mornings. I wasn't allowed to go outside my room until 11 a.m. because she would listen to disco music from 8 to 11, and that was her time.
What was she doing?
She was just blasting disco music.
I bet she had gentlemen callers at that time.
Chris, come on, man. That's my mom. I don't want you to.
But here's the other thing.
It sounds like the Florida Project, though. He's right.
Here's the thing. She just didn't want you to come out. She probably just put 2 fucking stereo speakers up against the thing. And she just sat and smoked and went, why is he getting bigger? I've done everything I can possibly do. He can't be getting larger, is he? You're something else, Beats.
Yeah, my father's record collection was pretty cool. I mean, it was like Sinatra. It ran everything from Nat King Cole to Sinatra to Smokey Robinson.
You still have them?
I think my father still has it in a closet somewhere. Like Otis Redding and B.B. King. And
why don't you give him $200 and tell him to go out and buy some new stuff?
200 cheap. He acts like, and he was acting like, yeah, they like the 200, yeah, but they like 300 even more, or even throw him 5.
They're like the 200 the first time you got it. Now that you're 19 years into this, they're like, still doesn't he understand there's a cost of living?
They seem to be happy with it.
All right, I was just past this note. We may be speaking on the phone, and this is hard for me to even believe, to the gentleman who was the creator of the Dick Van Dyke Show, Mr. Carl Reiner.
Wow.
That's crazy. He's what, 96 years old right now?
96, yes.
So he and Earl are the same age.
That's wild.
You know, not too long ago, I went back and listened to the 2,000-Year-Old Man, the stuff that he used to do with Mel Brooks. It's the funniest shit that's ever happened in history.
I love listening to that. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I love listening to it when I was younger.
I was on a thing going back and listening to some old comedy. So I listened to Albert Brooks' A Star Is Born. Fucking genius. Went back and listened to some 2,000-Year-Old Man. Then I went and listened to something that I believe was the #1 selling comedy album of all time. Steve Martin. Thought it sounded very odd.
Really?
Really? Yeah. What, just like too dated?
I didn't even hear it getting big laughs on the record. I don't understand how giant... Because this was a guy who played stadiums. And maybe I was just in a bad mood. But I'm like, oh, this fucking seems stale.
What are you doing?
I go, this is as bad as a Steve Martin movie. By the way, The Jerk, I saw people screaming it. Carl Reiner directed that movie.
I love that. I watched that movie so many times as a kid. Me and my family watched it, and I was fucking obsessed with it.
That movie is still so funny. Like, I think it maintained, like, how insanely funny it is.
It was maybe one of the biggest comedies of all time. Matter of fact, Carl Reiner's in it. He's the guy that when he takes the glasses off, his eyes are
yeah.
closed. Oh, yeah. But I went to see that movie. I saw it at the Tri-State Mall. 2 things that I couldn't believe that day. #1, fucking people were screaming at the jokes, going fucking crazy, jumping up and down. #2, and this was even better, my friend Tommy Famara, a guy sits down in front of him with a giant afro, and he can't see the fucking movie. The baby Fidge was fucking blocked out.
Got throwed out.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck, man? And, I mean, it was like you couldn't even move in the theater. And I'm going like this. Don't start anything, man. Just be cool.
Turn ugly
like, not
quick.
even give him the slightest fucking, hey, I know you're in a bad situation. I'm like, just be cool, will you, please? Watch the fucking movie. I can't watch the fucking movie because this guy's hair. I go, shh, I'm trying to enjoy this. I'm trying to enjoy my perfect sight line. What is funnier than your friend having a bad time?
It's great.
When you should be having a good time.
Makes me really happy.
It's the
It
best.
makes me really, really happy.
I always think it's the funniest thing, like if a friend of mine says, I think my wife is cheating on me.
Really?
Yeah, I just start cracking up. I'm like, oh, and you thought she loved you. Would you still stay with your chick if she was cheating on you?
I wouldn't want to, no. I mean, that would be a rough one, Ron.
Looks like somebody doesn't love her woman.
I love her very much. But I would expect some love back also.
Maybe you also need to listen to a little song called When a Man Loves a Woman.
I haven't heard it in a long
And
time.
not the fucking white version that came out in the 80s. The one that Earl loves. Go
God,
deep in fucking Earl's dad's closet. Would you sleep out in the rain for your fucking woman?
I would do that.
Reiner, come. Here's some of the stuff that he's directed. The Jerk, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, The Man with Two Brains, All of Me, and here's a surpriser: Summer Rental and Summer School.
Love both.
Two of the great summer movies.
Love both those movies. Summer School is a film I watched over and over again.
And Summer Rental?
And
You
Summer
ignored the John Candy movie?
No, I love Summer Rental.
I was living right almost on that set at the time, and BL was an extra in that movie.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
You see her, I think, at least twice.
And she's in a bikini. Like, that's pretty
great.
gutsy, you know what I mean? But she was always sitting as a rail.
I have to rewatch it now. I want to look for BL.
She was, remember when like when people were having a party at his house and all that?
Yeah.
She was laying out on like a Chase lounge.
Yeah, and there was like a guy, I think, like massaging her shoulders or like putting oil on her or something. So she's like laying out, and then there's
Legs
a guy with
wide
her.
open.
Nice.
And then I think she might have been at the boat race at the end.
I'd be surprised if
I
she
think
was.
I think that you see her in the crowd.
Still oiled up in a bikini.
Oh, yeah, she was sleeping
Oh,
with
yeah.
the location scout manager, so she was down checking on him. So we might be talking to Carl Reiner. CBS is airing the third annual Dick Van Dyke Show, now in living color, tomorrow, Friday, December 14th, 9 p.m. I don't have the name of the two things that they're running. Oh, I got to go to a whole different page for it? Oh, why don't you put it up here on this page? Where Did I Come From? Which is fucking hilarious. This is one of my favorite of all time. Little Richie asked Dick Van Dyke, where did I come from? And the story goes into the whole thing. And Dick Van Dyke is so hilarious in this. And the other one, Never Bathe on a Saturday. And that's also incredibly funny because Mary Tyler Moore gets her toe stuck in the tub. Really, really funny. And like I said, I don't know if there's anything funnier in history than the 2,000-year-old man. The funniest stuff that ever went down.
My mom loved the Dick Van Dyke Show, and I watched a lot of it when I was growing up as well.
It might be the best sitcom of all time, and it's the one that everything's based on, you know?
Yeah.
And the HBO documentary, If You're Not in the Obit, Eat Breakfast, available on DVD and HBO Now. Carl's two most recent books, Alive at 95, Recalling Movies I Love, and Approaching 96, the films I love viewing and loved doing. And of course, CBS airing the third annual Dick Van Dyke, now in living color, tomorrow, Friday, December 14th at 9 p.m. It's amazing how much more he gets done than we do. We have a whole team sitting here, and we accomplished nothing. And Carl Reiner just working on project after project after project. And I believe we have him on the phone now.
Yes.
Mr. Carl Reiner.
Yeah. Hello. an audience of 4.
You know, Carl, we're going through all the projects that you're involved in. It's insane.
Yes, you know, you mentioned the last 2 books I did a little while ago. I mean, last year. I've got 4 new books coming out, which is they're coming out in a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a month. And I'll mention those because I'm very proud of them. One of them is a book that has ever existed. The form has not existed, and it's an original. And it's called Scrunched Photos of Celebrities, and Scrunched by Carl Reiner.
Now, what are you doing with that?
What happens is that about 4 weeks ago, I looked in my wastebasket, and there was somebody picked that up.
Yeah, I get it.
There was a scrunched photo of a People magazine cover of a woman, and I said, I wonder who that is. And I unscrunched it, and it was Angelina Jolie. And thereupon, a book was born, 300-page book. I found pictures of all our famous celebrity icons that we love, scrunched their faces. You turn the page, and there it is. People, it's a really good coffee table book. Because I showed it to folks, and they guess most. There are people who are like Sherlock Holmes. They'll guess right most of the time. For the most part, people guess wrong, and it's a really good game book. You know, I have it on my coffee table, and people will laugh. They laugh, actually.
Now, it is. It's like you invented a game show in a book, though. It's kind of fun.
Yes, it is. It's a one of a kind. I never saw a book like that yet. I have a couple other books coming out. One is I Remember Radio. That just came out. And that's every radio show I saw, I heard from the time I was 4 years old. My father built a crystal set, and that's a lot of years ago. I'm going to be 97, and I heard static and music. and then he built a real radio with, and we had the gaslight in the house that gave us power for lights. So he had to go to the garage and get a storage battery, and he built a radio. He put the storage battery, and there we listened for the first time to Lowell Thomas in the News and WGN in Chicago.
In Chicago, yeah.
It was the first station to broadcast internationally.
And that was was kind of big band music at the time, or?
Yes, there was big band, and I remember there's so many of them. I mean, one of the things on radio that was very big was Rudy Valley had a variety show. And I was about 13 years old, and I never forgot. He said, tomorrow we're going to have a wonderful impersonator. To this day, I think it's the biggest laugh I ever had in my life. He had a man on. It was Richard Haydn, the English comedian, who said, I don't impersonate people. I impersonate birds or fish. What is your choice? And somebody said, birds. Very well. I will now do the voice of the yellow-bellied sapsucker. Listen carefully, for his voice is so high in pitch that it is so high in pitch that he's absolutely inaudible to the human ear. Listen carefully, and for 5 minutes, all you heard was nothing. and the more you heard nothing, the more you laughed. I don't know how long it lasted, but it might have been 5 minutes. I was screaming with laughter, and at the very end, he comes and says, amazing, isn't it? And it was amazing. Biggest laugh I ever got.
Where did you grow up, Carl?
In the Bronx, New York.
Yeah. So you also, I guess, could pick up WNEW out of there, right?
Oh, yes. That was our local station.
Yeah.
Yes. WNEW was a big station.
And like even I think before records, they would just come in and have live music. So Sinatra used to come in and sing live like once a week. It's hard to even believe.
Yes. What did you say? Live music?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We listened to, well, there was the Symphony of the Air that, what's his name? My father watched it, listened to it every Sunday. The big conductor. Ooh, she wrote it. Huh? No. Big symphony conductor. I'll remember it. Huh?
Is it Ted Fiorito?
Huh?
Ted Fiorito?
No. Ted Fiorito was an early radio, but this was a little later on. He was the biggest. He had Fritz Kreisler on playing music. Oh my God!
Yeah. Okay.
I'll figure it out, and if I don't, so what?
Was it Betty Goodman?
No, a symphony conductor.
Oh.
A big symphony conductor. He was the symphony conductor. My father listened to him. We listened to two things assiduously. One was that the radio Symphony of the Air, and the other one was the Metropolitan Opera House performances on Saturday afternoon with all the great stars of the day.
Carl Reiner is airing the 3rd annual Dick Van Dyke Show, now in living color, tomorrow, Friday, December 14th at 9 p.m. You've got 2 different episodes that have never been seen in color before, and you do this every year now. Is that a lot of fun for you, Carl?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, the show might have been done in color. At one point, somebody said, we can colorize this show, and we can do it in color, and not colorized. We can do it in color, but it costs $6,000 per episode. And we said, well, there goes our profit.
Right.
We wouldn't have made any profit. So, but I was so happy to see it colorized because, you know, Mary with those flashing eyes, that black hair, and those lovely gams, it was just a pleasure to look at. And Dick, you know, with that expressive face, there's nothing more pleasurable than seeing great talent at the top of its game.
Well, you know, you are right about that. I think one of the greatest things that you've done was the casting of that show because, of course, Maury Amsterdam was so amazing. And
well, you know, the funny thing, the show was originally written for myself. After the show of shows disappeared, and variety shows did not come on the air again until musical variety show, until Carol Burnett brought it back.
Wow.
Those years were full of horses and guns and situation comedies. And I was offered one to perform in, and it wasn't very good. And my wife said, why don't you write one? And so one year in Fire Island, I wrote a pilot called Head of the Family, and Peter Lawford put up the money for the pilot. But because we were going to do a pilot, I decided I better have a template for other writers to know what comes after it. So I wrote 13 episodes. I did the pilot with Barbara Britton and Morty Gunty and Sylvia Miles playing the 3 leading roles, and it wasn't very good. I was okay, just okay. And it didn't sell, and I was about to go on to start doing movies. A Thrill of It All, I think, was the first I started writing. And somebody sent those 13 scripts to my agent, had a mutual client, Sheldon Leonard and Danny Thomas Enterprises. And they called me and they said, we read your 13 scripts, and we think they're wonderful. And I said, well, fellas, I don't want to fail with the same material twice. I'm so told the stories 100 times because I love doing Sheldon's voice. He said, you won't fail, Carl, because we're going to bid an actor to play you. And he suggested Dick Van Dyke. I didn't know who he was. I went to New York. I saw him in Bye Bye Birdie, dancing and singing all over the stage like the whiz that he is with Cheetah Rivera. And I said, we found our guy. And the tough part was finding the girl. I saw 27 women looking who to play Laura. And I told Sheldon Leonard, I said, I don't know who I'm looking for. He said, you'll know when you find her. And the 27th one who came in was Mary Tyler Moore, and she was reluctant to come in because she had failed twice that day. By the way, Danny Thomas was the one who said, "What about that girl who read to be my daughter? She was wonderful, but her nose went the wrong way. She had three first names, and her legs were on the Richard Diamond, so featured at the beginning. She was a secretary, always over her legs. We looked it up with Mary Tyler Moore. She came in, and I saw a vision in front of me. I made my hand into a claw that you find in those arcade games, and I made the claw, my hand into a claw, walked across the room, grabbed the top of her head, and I said, "Come with me, young lady." She thought I was going to accost her, and instead I walked her down the hall, and I delivered it to Sheldon's office, and I unleashed the claw, and we found the Sheldon, and did we ever?
Wow, that's fantastic. But did you know right away it was going to be a hit, Carl? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I wrote it, I said, this is going to be about a show. I remember coming up with the idea. It's going to be a show about a writer who works in New York, who lives in a show with his two kids, and it's all about the mores of the time, how he reacts and relates to his family and his workers. And I said, everybody is the same. Everybody has the same problems, and with the world, two against the world. Two loving family members and a kid, and that's what I wrote about. And I remember being very aware that it was a thing for the ages. And I said, and I wrote, I never use slang. And I told writers who followed me, I wrote the first 40 of the first of the 158 shows, and I never used slang or any politics of the day. And I knew it would have a lasting life, a long life on television, and it has.
I went back and watched these 2 episodes, and they're just unbelievable. The Where Did I Come From may have more laughs per minute than any show I've ever seen in my life. It's just a scream.
It's a pretty funny show, and it's based on the fact that when my wife gave birth for the first time, I wasn't home, and she had to call me, and I had to rush home, and so I just embellished it, made it over the top. But it was based on what we feel when we have our first child.
Unbelievable. I always thought the great thing too is that it was equal parts office comedy and a family comedy.
Right.
But everything was any situation you could get into, you managed to do it.
By the way, why and when the Dick Van Dyke Show was born? Yeah, that was a book I wrote about a few years ago. And in it are all the personal stories. It's a book about the personal stories that actually happened to my wife and I and family that I made into a situation comedy episode. And like Never Name a Duck. I actually brought a duck on Easter and brought it home, two little ducks. We put them in the sink and they swam around. When they got bigger, we put them in the bathtub. When they got too big, we went to MacArthur Park and put them in the pond with there were hundreds of other ducks there. And it was very sad because our kids came along to watch it, and a big duck came over and went to the neck of our 2 ducks and shook them by the neck. They didn't want them in the pond. And my wife, in her infinite wisdom, brought some breadcrumbs and threw the breadcrumbs between our ducks and the clot of ducks, and they mixed together, getting the breadcrumbs, and we watched them all swim away as one happy family. We could see ours for a long time because they were a little smaller than all the others, but they were all ducking for crumbs.
I ran into your nephew, George Shapiro, this summer at the American Comedy Center, and he was the one who told me about if you're not in a bit, eat breakfast.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, George Shapiro came up with the idea for the show, which was called, originally it was called Vital at 90. He went all over the world finding people who were still plying their craft at 90 and over. And it was wonderful. He found a 100-year-old marathon woman runner and artists and people doing kind of work that you never would dream they would be doing that late in life. And, of course, I was a little younger than that, but I was still plying my craft. And I had written a little article saying, if I'm not in the obit, I'll have breakfast. And some producer said, hey, that's a really good title. So it really was George Shapiro's baby, but they put the title on, and which is good because it conjures up an idea that is very viable.
But you're nominated for an Emmy for this, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I forgot what I was nominated. I think for directing it.
Yeah.
No, for narrating.
Oh, narrating.
For narrating and hosting, and it's...
Yeah, right.
It's just dynamite, and it's so great when you guys get back together and you're just around making each other laugh. It's really, really sweet, and it's really, really funny, Carl.
Thank you. I enjoy doing it.
And I just find it amazing how much you keep doing. There's never been a break from creativity for you.
Well, I wrote a book once called How to Live Forever, and it's 271 pages, and the first line in the book is, when you wake up in the morning, start a project. Work on it, improve it. When you approve the improvements, start a new project. And for 271 pages, that one line is repeated and repeated. And it's a book I give away for free with my other books. And by the way, it's true. If you get up in the morning and you have something to get up for, you'll keep getting up. You'll stay alive because you have something to do.
Yeah, you got something to do and something to finish and something that you care about. But it is astonishing to me. Two things happen over the course of your life. Your work holds up, and that's not true of all comedy. A lot of comedy is just of that time, but your work absolutely holds up, and at the same time, you keep creating new work.
Well, I tell you, it keeps me alive. How to stay alive forever.
Well, we're heading in that direction, Carl. CBS is airing the third annual Dick Van Dyke Show now in living color tomorrow night, December 14th. The HBO documentary, if you're not in the obit, Eat Breakfast, available now on DVD and HBO. And his two most recent books, Alive at 95, Recalling Movies That I Love, and Approaching 96, the films that I love viewing and love doing. They're available now wherever books are sold. But there's four more books.
If you'd like to see why, when, and what the Dick Van Dyke Show, go to randomcontent.com. All my books you probably can get there.
Thank you so much, Carl. It's such a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you.
And I hope to do this again. All right? Take care of yourself now.
I leave you with 3 words. randomcontent.com.
Talk to you soon, friend. Carl Reiner. Wow, that was amazing.
That's awesome, man.
Amazing. Still pitching, working it. What do you say he is now? 96, 97?
96, going on 97. He has 4 books coming out.
Yeah, this documentary, I put it on just to be like nice because, it's George Shapiro. It's Carl's manager of all these years. It's also Jerry Seinfeld's manager, right? This is the guy who helped Jerry put together this is a big wig in the business. And he ended up being the sweetest guy I've ever met in my life. And he's like, I really want you to see this movie. Check it out when you get the chance, when you get back. And I put it on, to be kind of nice because I didn't think watching in their 90s or something. And I mean, it was so touching. It was so funny. And then it was so life affirming. And, you know, when you see that people just have an attitude about creativity, about doing the thing, like one of the things that it looks like is not good for you, two things. Number one, just sitting all the time. Number two, living in the past. You know what I mean? Like people who sit around and do the other day, you know, the past was better than today. They're living in the wrong spot. You got to pretty much be in the moment. And again, I'm going to recommend this to everybody. It's on HBO right now, HBO Go. If you're not in the obit, Eat Breakfast on DVD and HBO Now. I watched it again on demand. He's got all the books out. And then the Dick Van Dyke Show. And I went back and watched Where Did I Come From? Because that was one of my favorites when I was a kid. That one and the one about the walnuts were the two that killed me. But I'll tell you something. I remember this when I to work in New York. And when I was a kid, you know, every rerun, you know, what Seinfeld is today is what the Dick Van Dyke Show was then. 7 o'clock, 11, you know, you could watch the Dick Van Dyke Show. And every episode I loved, and I loved the writer's room stuff. It was Rose Marie, Maury Amsterdam, and Dick Van Dyke, and they would be pitching ideas, and they're making each other laugh. And I remember, because I'd never seen this before, they were eating Chinese food out of a box, which was a very New York thing. So I make it to New York. I'm doing radio. We're sitting around after a show, and we're pitching each other ideas for the next day. And I'm sitting up on like a big windowsill looking down over 57th Street, and we're eating this Chinese food. And I'm like, holy shit, man, I'm in the Dick Van Dyke Show. My life, everything that I saw when I was younger, being around with funny people, busting balls, and trying to think of ideas. And I go, I'm living it right now. It was one of the great moments of my life. Just thinking this is what I wanted to do when I was a kid. Just being in New York and doing that. And that's why that show was so damn good. Rosemary and Maury Amsterdam could have been a show on their own. They were so damn funny. And Carl played the boss. And when I was a kid, this was my favorite thing, is that he put a different wig on all the time, and he was always being teased about being bald, and he would put these wigs on and act like he was so upset when the wig was knocked off. But supposedly that was based on Sid Caesar and the Show of Shows, which was all these great writers came out of there. So this is cool to me. I was thinking about this when we were doing it too, because I never met Carl before, but I got to talk to him and Mel Brooks on the phone. If you remember, we did the Mel Brooks.
Yeah, last year.
If you go and listen to the 2000-Year-Old Man series, any of those albums, it's the funniest shit. Carl 100% plays the straight man. He just sets up Mel through the whole thing. And Mel, of course, is one of the funniest people who's ever lived. But to keep giving him, you know, the stuff was Carl's job. It's unbelievably great. And then those, you know, those Steve Martin movies that we brought up. It was fantastic. All right, let's break here, okay, kids? Right back. Bennington.
Bennington is back, and did you get yourself a brand new Bennington t-shirt yet? It's available at theibigshop.com. Get it! Faction Talk 103. It's the Bennington Show.
We were back. Boo 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 boo. Gail, I know you were nursing during Carl, but did you Did you dig that at all?
That was awesome. That was so cool. And
He's awesome.
I love your story so much.
Oh,
about New York. Yeah. That just got me.
Well, I mean, it was one of those things when I was a kid. I always loved that aspect of the show because I could not believe that they were adults and that's what they did, you know? And the fact of it was that the Dick Van Dyke Show writer's room was based, Dick Van Dyke was based on Carl, and that's what he did for a living.
Yeah.
Up to that point, that he just sat around with Mel Brooks, Neil Simon, Woody Allen, between all those things. And what's one of the best things in this documentary with these old 94-year-olds, it's three of them sitting there. It's Carl, Mel Brooks, and the name just escaped me, but the guy who...
Was it Norman Lear?
Norman Lear, who did all the big shows, right?
Yeah.
So, out of nowhere, Mel goes, there's a song, and he mentions the name of a song, and they're all just, they're sitting there talking about, their lives and what it takes. And he goes, there's a song that has killed more Jews than any other song. And he starts to sing it, and then the way the Jews sing it is already too high, and then he's breaking in his thing and he's acting like he's having a heart attack. And Norman Lear is fucking dying. Because there's no reason. And Carl is just looking at him, and he's like, mainly just has a look on his face like, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
For 70 years, this has been happening, but it's just this smirk. And here these guys are in their 90s, and still the childish aspect of this, they're still skipping school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have all these things going on, their projects and creativity, but this is what they're doing instead of working. And it's just really so moving to me. It's so beautiful.
Cutest.
That line he said during the talk with you, where he said, when you get up in the morning, start a new project, killed me. Absolutely. I was like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you keep going, and that's how the brain keeps moving. You start a new project every day.
How about you finish one, Proctor? That would be great.
That too.
There could be a project where you just say to me, I'm done. I would love it. I would hire a band. We would do the line, like we would have the line like down in New Orleans where we'll march down the street.
The second line?
What's it called?
The second line.
Thank you. I would have never got that. And people always say who gets to live the longest, and is it luck? It can't be. People are like, oh, if you laugh, you'll live longer. Gilda laughed. You know what I mean? She lived longer. Belushi laughed. Look what happened to him. Who knows who gets that lucky break, or is it luck? Because, it's difficult. But Dick Van Dyke is in this movie. He's in his 90s. I'm going to give this thing away from a documentary. So, Seinfeld is in the documentary. And he said when he was a little boy, he was like 8 years old, his parents took him to the music fair out in Long Island. What is it? The Westchester Music Fair?
Westbury?
Westbury. That's it. So they see Alan King. They go and they see Alan King, and he's funny. And Jerry slips away from his family, and he goes backstage, and he gets Alan King to sign this. And Alan King goes, hey, do you know who this man is? And he says, oh my God, yeah, that's Carl Reiner from the Dick Van Dyke Show. So Carl signs this stupid, whatever you call those things you get at a show. And Jerry forgets all about it. And he's doing this thing with Carl. I guess he had Carl on his comedians, doing coffee. And Carl goes, one time I went to see Alan King, 2 hours. He's telling stories. He's just amazing. And Jerry's like, he goes, I saw him do it at the Westbury Music Fair. And I got, and he goes like this, that was it. And he goes, and I got you to sign a thing. He goes, it's the only time I ever saw Alan King in my life. And they both have this, like, Jerry even forgets the story. You know what I mean? Because it happened when he was 8 and he's in the 60s now. But he had this thing signed at home and he went and looked at it and there it said Carl. But you see him get this weird look on his face. Like, I met you. You know? And then Carl's going, that's the only time. Now here, you know, Carl would have probably been, you know, less than 40. He would have been in his 30s. He would have been a very young man. And he meets this little boy. And then years later, boom, you know.
Wow, that's so wild.
It's crazy.
That.
Yeah, I loved it too. But a lot of those guys are still alive in their 90s. Dick Van Dyke, I don't know whether you saw that thing where he was doing the dances from Mary Poppins when he's 90 some years old. He's a fantastic dancer.
I mean, there has to be some sort of key to at least being lit up by the world around you. You know what I mean? So maybe for some people that's creativity, maybe that's educating yourself, waking up and thinking there's something to learn or
curiosity. Curiosity is good. It's also another reason why you don't want to act like you know everything, you know, because you shut yourself down when you do that. You know, like I get into these conversations all the time about comedy and the younger audience not wanting to hear, you know, certain words or certain, and everyone I know is like, that's crazy. Things more important than the First Amendment. I go, I just feel like we're missing something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, at some point, we got to listen to these kids to see why what we think is important, they think is so important, are two different things.
Right, because if you look at history, that tends to where the youth is going, right? That's where the country's going. That's where the mood is going. So if you're the person who's saying like, absolutely not, rock and roll is noise, you have to take a moment to go, is there something I'm missing? What am I missing here?
But sometimes with some of that, you're just, you know, it's not of your time. But when it has stuff like where it's about the politics of it all and so, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know whether we've ever rolled back on a social thing. I don't know whether people went, you know what, we tried civil rights. It just didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, normally progress is progress. Like, you'll watch, and I have watched the Republican National Convention where they'll say nice things about Martin Luther King and what Martin Luther King stood for, you know, and you're like, oh, that's very different. You know, you weren't there when Martin Luther King was around. Right. So people do eventually come around, you know, maybe, Gail, one day you'll come around to Trump and you'll be like, he really did make America great again.
Yeah, one day I'll act like I was there.
You'll be like,
alongside him.
Well, you'll say to your grandchildren, and that's when we found out that trans people did not belong in the military.
And thank God for him.
But please, I'm going to ask all you guys why it's on HBO. Watch this thing, because it completely changed my mood. Completely changed my mood. Here's something that, well, I'm not even going to get it because that sounds more like a negative. But last January, I said I wanted to do something, and somebody here, one of the bosses, said, why? It'll take a year before that even happens, right? If we get this other partner involved. He goes, it would take a year. And I go, yeah, you're right. And now here I am a year later, and I could be doing it.
Okay.
And I was
a year sounds like a long time until you're like, that was only a year ago?
I know. Look what Juliet, 4 months ago, she couldn't sit up. Now look at her. She's sitting up. Do you remember, like, how long ago the fact that when you were pregnant feel to you now, Gail?
Like a second ago. I feel like I was just pregnant.
Now, the entire time she was pregnant, she would look at a calendar and go, can you imagine this time then we're going to be doing this with the baby? Or, in another, I can't wait to see her when, and all that's happening now.
Yeah, it's especially strange with the holidays because I remember saying, I can't believe I'm going to have a 5-month-old at Christmas. And that was Christmas last year. So I just kept saying, 1 year from now, it's going to be Christmas again. And you know how fast that comes up. And all of this will happen. I'll have been pregnant. I'll have gone through my labor. My birth story will be in the past. It won't be something that I'm curious about. And she'll be so developed. She'll be a 5-month-old baby. And now it's happened. It's so weird.
Now, I just had another memory from this doc. I'm going to tell you guys. So there's this woman doing yoga. And I mean, what she could do, none of us could do. And she's 100 years old. So she's 100 years old. She's doing yoga. And she goes, when I was a little girl, my uncle knew Gandhi. And he introduced me to Gandhi. And I had marched with Gandhi during and I'm like, there's someone alive who marched with Gandhi? You know what I mean?
It's insane.
Is that crazy?
It's really, really crazy.
I'll never forget when Lewis Black said to me that he was at the I Have a Dream speech. And I'm like, now there was 500,000 people at that speech, but it still blew me away because that speech seems thousands of years before Woodstock. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really weird.
Well, we got to get ready to wrap this one up. Just about the last chance to get tickets for this Brian Regan.
Yes, it is.
Unmasked.
Yeah, it's happening next Tuesday, December 18th, 4 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City, theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets.
For a very good chance at free tickets. Brian Regan is the funniest. I still haven't seen the special yet. You have to get me that special. You got to get me the Vice special.
Yes.
Because I get to see both of these. I'm looking so forward to both these Unmasked. It's a real bang up end of the year, Chris.
It's great.
And even if you don't come back with us next year.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? Why wouldn't I be coming back?
They said they wanted to get rid of some dead wood.
Oh.
So I naturally thought they meant you. Could I be wrong?
I don't want to be associated with dead wood.
Oh, so you don't see yourself that way?
No, I don't. I don't want to. I don't see myself as just a piece of old wood infested with termites that people throw out.
There's a lot of wood that's dead that does not have termites. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, say where you can get your Bennington t-shirts.
You can get the Bennington t-shirt at ibangshop.com. The brand new Bennington t-shirt, ibangshop.com.
Well, you did say ibangshop.com correctly.
ibangshop.com.
So I guess we're on our way to go see the Rolling Stones over at the Hard Rock.
Can't wait, man.
I see that Chip Chipperson's going to be doing something down the hall here.
Yeah.
Looks like he has a live performance. Do you know who else is going to be with him?
I'm not sure. No, I don't know who the other
Do you know, Vito?
special guests are in the Chip Show.
No, I do not know.
You got to start, you know what I mean? Not fucking give me information, but bring me information. You ever seen Wall Street?
Yes, I've seen.
What's going on with you in the ear headphones?
They slip off that big
My
head
head
of
was
yours?
too big to put them on for a second.
Well, what we could do is get a hula hoop, put 2 ear things on either side. Gail, have a lovely night tonight.
Thank you. I'm going to.
And tomorrow, let's all try to make it, what to say, a frantic Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's get crazy.
Let's do a thank God it's Friday. Let's go for it. All right, that's it for us. See you tomorrow.